What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the Mike Falappi YouTube channel. And today we're back in Mingo Park after about a year, and we're going to talk about some more abandoned things, particularly a road that no longer connects to an actual road, but at one time it was an active road that Washington County, Pennsylvania, basically eminent domained and kind of turned into a service road, even though at this point in time they're not using it anymore. So let's get into it, guys. Welcome back. Like I said, my name is Mike, and today, like I said, we're going to be talking about this specific road here. Not the one that runs, left to right, but the one straight ahead. Now, I know there's no sign on it, and it says no vehicles, but whether or not that specific pavement that's there right now is the road or not, there would have been at one time a road that ran right through here. Now, as I may or may not have said in the title, I'm not sure because I haven't made it yet, but the road that used to run up through here was called Agostoni Road. Now, there was a farm that was somewhere off of this road, either down this end or the active end, which I will talk about, that was called the Agostoni Farm. It was owned by a farmer by the name of Agostoni. There is not very much documented history about, everything that went on here in Washington County, but I'm going to get out. I'm going to go ahead and make a history portion here with a map and show you kind of what we're looking at. But in order to access what we're going to be today, you're going to want to come in on the road either this way from Seachy Hill Road or this way from Chapel Hill Road or Mansion Hill Road, and then park at this parking lot here. Obviously, if you look on a map, I'll show you, but it would be for either the no leash area or there is a tennis court behind us. And then you'd access it this way and then head up this road here, this part of the trail, which leads to the no leash area, the dog park, and then I'll talk a little bit more about that once we get up to where we're going. We have geography, history, and other relevant information here for you guys right now. So we're in Mingo Creek County Park. The car is parked somewhere in this parking lot. Now you see over here you have the Mingo paved trail. As I said, we're going to be on the Agostoni Road. Well, like I said, there is an original portion of the Agostoni Road out here. It's real, you could drive on it, but it's a dead end, and I'm sure that these people probably don't want you driving down their dead-end street, so that's why we didn't go down there. Now, the easiest way to get to that is from Sugar Run Road, which is over here. And for those of you who like the information, Sugar Run Road is also the way you would get into the park. You would come down from 136 down Seachy Hill Road, and what you would do is turn onto this spur here, which eventually will become Mingo Creek Road, where it meets Park Road. That's a service road that you're not allowed, or at least not really supposed to, go down. With that being said, anyway, that has nothing to do with anything. We want to talk about the Agostoni Road. Well, this paved portion of this trail, like I said, instead of curving over here into what is Dog Park, you would go up, which you can't see it on the map here because trees. Anyway, there's a gate that's been broken since, I don't know, approximately 5 seconds after they abandoned this road, and you will go out and you will go into what is the great unknown of trees. Anyway, it's out there, and I'm gonna have to just show you, but these fields here that are Dog Park originally were the Adams Farm. Now in the video I call it the Black Farm, but it really is the Adams Farm. There's a guy, he's in Facebook group for Mingo Park, His name's Adams, and he said that his family owned Dog Park as part of their farm. Now, somewhere out here there was Agostoni Farm, and I'm not quite sure where along here that would have been. However, there are some interesting things that I find in this video for you today that you're just going to have to watch and see, because I haven't even seen them before, because I've never went out this time of year. Usually I go in the summer when there's way too much foliage. But since I went out in, I don't know, pre-spring, late winter, I was able to find some things for you guys that I've never seen before. So we need to get into this video now, and we need to show you what's going on. But like I said, you park here, you go up the paved trail. You don't go to Dog Park. You go up through the woods till you get to this gas line. And then you go over here, and then from there it's a mystery until you get to somewhere in here where it becomes private property. You're not allowed to go. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to go to the original remaining portion, the active portion of Agostoni Road today. However, you'll have to take my word for the fact that they did connect at some time back in the 1960s. Now, I did promise you a little bit of history. And like I said, back in the mid to late 1960s, I believe, possibly early 70s, I will get a date for you for the final last future video that we have. I need to look. But what Mingo Park did, aka Washington County, Pennsylvania government, was they wanted to make the park bigger. So what they did, they used eminent domain to take this portion of Agostoni Road and all these farms in here. And by eminent domain, I mean they offered the residents pennies on the dollar or threatened to take them to court to get their land. And what did they do with this great land? Nothing for probably the first how many decades? Mingo Creek Dog Park was made maybe 10, 15 years ago, I think. I highly doubt it was even 20. I'm pretty sure it wasn't that long ago. At least it wasn't regulated. But if I'm wrong, leave a message. But I'm pretty sure other than this dog park, they did nothing with this land except for cut access from Sugar Run. And what I believe they did, similar to other roads, similar to this road here, the service road, and similar to this road here, that we'll talk about this later. What's this? We'll talk about it next time. I think they just wanted to buy back as many roads as they could in order to limit the number of ways in and out of this park so that people like you and me couldn't just do anything we want. So I'll leave it at that. Let's get into the video where I can show you many interesting things about Agostoni Road, Mingo Park, eminent domain, and some cool abandoned things I didn't even think I was going to find. So, let's get into it, guys. Like I said, you gotta kind of go up here and start heading up this hill across this bridge. Some of this filming might be just a little bit stop and go, because this is a more public portion here. And then I'll show you where the path veers off for what would have been the actual road. Well, then this here is the actual road. But there's going to be a curve, which will head towards, what is the dog park now. And then off to the left will be the path that's considered the road, or what would have been common day back then, Agostoni Road. If you were to come and want to see this yourself, rather than following the paved trail, you would go through these gates that are no longer doing anything. As you can see, up this way, you can see the fences and everything for what is the dog park. We're just going to keep going this way. Now it looks like people have been biking this, and I've heard that it makes for some decent biking, but
I am not in the physical condition to be biking anything like this, at least not currently. With that being said, it's getting towards that time of the year that we're going to be breaking the bike out pretty soon. So let me know maybe in the comments if there's anywhere you want to see me bike to. I'd love to take some time to go and look at the canals, you know, B&O, C&O Canal, stuff like that, but all in due time. Gonna start walking a little farther up here, and you know, it's not too much to see. They do a decent job of cleaning this out, I think, because they bring their service trucks in here, I think, sometimes, or some kind of, you know, UTVs, because I've seen tracks before, but yeah. You know, it's kind of interesting. You know, there's not a whole lot of cell signal anywhere in this park, but somehow out here on this, you know, semi-undocumented area, somehow there's cell service. So I just, you know, got a phone call. Very interesting. Yeah, also, for anyone who's complaining that, you know, why does Mike Falappi only ever wear the LS Escalade hoodie and Martin Truex hat? It's cold right now. I have a whole bunch of shirts, but you know, this is my favorite hoodie, so I'm going to be wearing that until it's not cold. And then as for this hat, it's a good hat, you know. You know, as a mechanic, I actually do have quite a few other hats, but just deal with it, you know. This isn't the fashion show of the year. It's me trying to show some stuff to you guys, including, you know, this road here, which is kind of interesting, believe it or not. As you can see, there's a lot of this red and orange stone that pops through the dirt and quite a few portions of this road. But there's a lot of this stuff in this road. It's red and orange stone, which around here is called red dog. You can look up some history on red dog if you want. Maybe I'll put some in, but I have a feeling I won't. There's also a lot of, you can see the erosion, this natural kind of erosion pattern that's over time just veered over. You could hear it down there. There's a waterfall somewhere, but I'm not going to be hiking down there to find that, at least not today. I could do a whole nother video on just the waterfalls at Mingo, but that's, you know, natural stuff. This is a little bit less natural and a little bit more about, you know, the history of things that are no more. But as I stated earlier, I'm going to clarify it a little bit in the exploration real quickly. You can kind of see the waterfall down there. Probably doesn't come in very good on camera, but I could see it pretty good here through the trees. But there is a way to get down to it, but I'm not going to be doing that today. But like I said, there would have been a few different farms, and I'll try to pull some of the names up in the history portion, because there's some people that have testified, well, not testified, but, you know, made comments. There's a local, you know, Mingo Park Facebook group that it's been pretty good about, you know, trying to uncover some of these history stuff about, you know, different property. But here's something up here. Now, you can see that line. I'm not sure if that's electrical or gas or what that is. We're going to come up on it in a few minutes here. But there are gas lines that run a pipeline of some kind that I'm assuming came after this road was decommissioned. But but I'm not sure if that line is part of that, if it's something predating it. But yeah, get right back with you in a minute or two here. It's actually pretty muddy up here right now, which makes me think, and you can see the tracks. Some entity's been in here doing something. Probably this gas company that you can tell these are newer markers. The yellow ones as opposed to these old green ones. There was at one point, I found a badge on one of these. Don't wear good shoes up here. Luckily, we only ever wear boots, so not too mad about that. But, obviously, here's this old gas pipeline sign. As you can see, this is a People's marker now. It's who I pay my gas bill to. But, yeah, this is Carnegie Gas Company. There's no date on here as far as I can tell, but it's old. As far as I know, there hasn't been a Carnegie Gas Company. I don't know, I'll look into it. But there is some clearing up there that connects to the dog park. I forget the exact name of the guy whose farm was on the dog park. I think his last name might have been Black, but I'm not 100% sure. I'll clarify that. But for the purposes of today's video, I'm not going to hike all the way up that hill, because eventually it reaches property that we're not really interested in for the sake of today's video. But obviously, when you come off of this trail, you'll get to this clearing and you'll see the giant tree people. You could put in the comments what kind of tree you think that is. I'll try to add that into the history portion too. I don't remember right off the top of my head. I should, as I was an Eagle Scout, so I had to know quite a bit about that kind of stuff at one time. We would always hike through here as part of our hike. I think we would come down this way and then round the turn to the tree. I don't think we came up this way. I know we didn't hike up this way, but for purposes of the video, you're going to want to come, when you come out of here and see the tree straight, go to the left. That's what'll keep you on Agostoni Road. So I'm assuming originally when you would have curved up here, this would have taken you to some kind of upper provisions to this farm that was Black's farm. Either that or there was another farm up there somewhere. But we'll keep going this way, and I'll get back with you in a little bit. Once you start heading down that trail that goes to the left, this has been a pretty, well taken care of portion of this trail. It's still pretty wide. You could kind of see in some of the other portions, it's hard to imagine vehicles traveling down it, but vehicles would have traveled down this part. You'll have fallen trees. Obviously, no one's been out here to cut this. I'm not always too sure, whether it's the park that comes out here and cuts all of this, or if other hikers and stuff do it. Either that, or I guess you got to call the park and tell them, and they come out and do it. But again, you could see in breaks in the foliage where it has that red dog. But you can see someone came in and cut that big lump off the tree. Those are pretty expensive. People sell them, and I guess they do woodworking with them. But you'll find a few trees that have fallen across here. One of them is the marker for where you're not supposed to walk anymore. As you can kind of see through the dirt here, that looks like a old form of pavement. which kind of leads to my old suspicions. That one part at the beginning looks as if it was never paved, but that looks like it was. So, just more, history and stories of things that we probably won't ever know the true answers to out here on the Agostoni Road. It's kind of crazy how expansive this whole, length of this trail and road is. Obviously, when it was taken by eminent domain, the park just wanted to limit the number of ways in and out of their park. But, crazy to think at one time you could have driven from where we began all the way up to what you'll see later. That is still an active road today. But, this is overall, it's a nice trail, They don't really market these trails as much as their orange, blue, and yellow trails, and obviously the paved walking trail. But this trail on the Fire Road, and then another trail that we will see here shortly, they're all options for you should you want to, come out here. As you can see here, it's now pretty well marked that you're not supposed to go past this point, so we will turn back. It's a lot better marked now than it was last time I was out here. So, I thank the property owner for doing that. So, it clears up any confusion, because we all know the park wasn't gonna, do anything about it. So, yeah, big tree in the middle. That is the end of whatever the park bought. Even though there's more road that, was abandoned past that, but there's, nothing back. As we come on up here to this stop sign, this is what remains of the actual still operational portion of the Agostoni Road. It's a no outlet, so I'm not going to drive down there, but that is, and originally would have met what we're hiking on today. So there is still an Agostoni Road, it's just no longer, connected all the way down. Anyway, turning back around, there's a few things I noticed on the hike up that, could show you that this was active. And first of all, there's culverts in here, so obviously that was to stop low spots in the, for drainage reasons, so things didn't flood out. I like to think that, there's some way too well placed things sticking up out of the ground that, right there, that skinny one next to the tree, and this skinny one here, this skinny one here. This whole run, you can kind of see how perfectly placed they look. They could be trees, but the fact that you could see the staples in them makes me think that at one point in time, back when there were farms on either side of this road, that that was a fence of some kind. Obviously, that was left to ruin now, but those are just some things to, prove to you that, this isn't just some, goat path. That this was an actually inhabited road at one point in time. I really wasn't expecting, there to actually be a nice defined, boundary, because I came out here, I don't know, a year ago, 2 years ago now, a year ago. Um, I don't think it was this past summer of 2023. I believe it was the summer of 24, or I mean the summer of 22, that I came out here and filmed some videos. You can see by how clear this area looks that, some of these trees that grew up in here are more recent, and it makes me think that this was a field at one point in time, as opposed to just, the fact that there's some skinnier trees and stuff. Things that have grown up here since the 60s, whenever they, finally did close this thing down. But, there's some ruins to some stuff in here. Someone's barn or shed at one time, I'm thinking. I don't want to get too close to it, but it's cool that it's still here. There's more of it stretching over here, which would mean that my assumptions were correct, that at one time this would have been a field, and it's just the lack of upkeep since the 60s that may have leveled this whole thing. But it's cool that if you would have came here maybe 20 years ago, something may have still been standing here, or 30 years ago maybe. But that's pretty cool. This isn't something I was expecting to see today. But because when I came out here in that summer, 2 summers ago maybe, it was all grown over, so I didn't see it. But yeah, at one point in time there would have been ruins of something out here. It's pretty cool. Things like those ruins are why when you come down here, you kind of just need to take a look off some of these trails and just keep a lookout, because like I said in I think the last video, and maybe in the history portion, and definitely in our next video out here, whatever that is, there's they bought up by this land by eminent domain, and then they didn't do anything with it. They kind of like let nature implode in upon itself. So I mean, you never do know what you're gonna find. You just need to pay attention and look for areas of woods that don't really look like woods, and clearings that have become overgrown. But there's a lot of cool stuff out here. So yeah, I'll get back with you guys. This cleared out path right here is what links up to the modern day Orange Trail perimeter loop. As you can see, it's kind of been cleared out. If you were coming from the other direction, you would come down this way, and then you could see on the trees where there are orange markings, those are blazings. And then if you were coming the other way, what you would have done is you would have come down from the way I told you we weren't going to go when you came off that trail and saw the big tree, and would have went, we went to the left. If you would have come down from that other path, that's that gas line clearing, that would have connected to the Orange Trail, which is the perimeter loop. I would like to hike that someday, either with someone to do it with, or with a dog, or maybe maybe another device of courage of some kind. But yeah, there's a lot of nice trails out here. Obviously you're orange, you're yellow, you're blue, and the paved, but it's Agostoni Road Trail that we're on. Obviously, if I haven't clarified yet, we're currently walking back towards the way that we came from. since we reached the terminus and, you legally can't go any farther. But, yeah. If you see that bright clearing up ahead, that's that open pasture, and that's going to take us back the way we came. Go ahead and I guess walk up there and show you which way to go, just in case you come out here. As I said, there's the orange blazing, because there's a lot of little offshoots that, more orange blazing here. I'm assuming they don't want you to go down this way, but, and again, I've never, done it that way. I believe you come down this way, follow, and go up that way, but I'm not too sure, because I've never hiked the entirety of the Orange Trail. I've hiked quite a few different portions of it, but I forget how many miles they say the loop is, but I've heard it's a real nice hike. I just, that's not something you want to do alone. At least that's not something I want to do alone. Even if I had a dog with me, me and Rover could, share in the solace of company, as opposed to, being out here. That's why I like filming these videos with you guys, because even though you're not here with me, I'd rather have a camera to talk to than talk to myself, because if I could film it, I have a purpose. But if I try to keep myself company out here, it makes me look like I belong in a mental institution. But it is a nice hike. Today's a nice day. I don't know, somewhere between 45 and 49 degrees. So great temperature for, walking and hiking and doing all this stuff. There's more culvert. Again, more proof that this was a man-made road or man-cleared road at one point, as opposed to just some goat path that's been carved out over time. More red dog that you could see. Coming up to the clearing, you'll be able to see the big tree and the gas line. The way we came here. And just, similarly to how we came up, we came up from that way and went to the left. We'll come out from this way and go back to the left, not down and not up. So here we are, back where we started. And I don't think I'm going to film all the way back down that path, so I'll meet you at the bottom and we'll wrap this one up. Well, guys, we've made it back to the car after that hike. I enjoyed it. It was a nice walk on a nice day. Got to show you guys what is the Agostoni Road, and yeah, it wasn't too bad. So hope you guys enjoyed that. Like I said, I got some more abandoned stuff here at Mingo Park that I can show you throughout the next, weeks, months, years, whatever. And I intend to do that, depending on how well this video does. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Keeps me getting great content out here. And I'll see you again in the next video here on the Mike Falappi YouTube channel. Thanks, guys.